Welcome back, Patrick here with Dixie RV Doctor. I just wanted to give you an update on the conversions that we made to this Sprinter van, business class. You can see this is pretty nice back in here. The reason that we had this van come in was because the customer was not happy with how the air conditioning was back here in this area. Over here, up in this area, they were able to get AC nice and cool, but where we are, it stay around 80 degrees. That was the coolest that they could get it, and down here in St. George it can get pretty hot, so they needed a better solution. Let me show you what it is that they had we ended up doing. So you can see these vents right here, and that little vent right there, that one there, and there are all that was made to cool down this entire space over here, which was just not adequate. And you can tell there's really nothing that was over here. So really the only two people that were happy were like this guy and this guy, because they had a few vents here to help them out. The only real solution to get more AC back here was to add a rooftop air conditioning unit. I'm gonna see if I can get a shot of this up on the top without falling over. There's the air conditioning rooftop unit right there. We had that paint matched to the paint that was on the vehicle to make it so it tied in a little bit better. Let me show you the brains of this outfit. This is a Victron Chrono, and this kind of at a glance just shows you everything that's going on. Let's get in here a little bit closer. Hopefully it's not too fuzzy. You can see what's going on. So over there on the bottom left, you can see the alternator power that's coming in. Right now we're just sitting at idle, and you can see that we have more than enough power coming in to top off the batteries, and the AC right now is running at full blast, and you can see that that's staying just over 1,000 watts. This guy right here is called a Furrion Chill Cube. The reason that we like it so much is several reasons. Power consumption on this guy is 11.6 amps at the highest. So that's about 40% less power usage than what your typical RV air conditioner is. It's an 18,000 BTU unit instead of a 15,000. It's got a variable speed compressor, which means you don't need a soft start. So it will ramp up and ramp down. As a matter of fact, when it gets to temperature, it will back off, and it will all the way down to a 3 amp draw just to maintain temperature. So once it gets to temperature inside here, you'll see this usage on this side dramatically drop because it will back off. This right here tells you when you got your shore power coming in, what your solar yield is, and whether you're inverting or charging, or whatever the state the inverter charger's at. So we had to run a switch up here by the driver's side. This little guy right here is what turns the cutoff switch in the back on and off. This was that little red LED was the one that used to control absolutely everything. We actually needed to put that little switch there in conjunction with that one, so they got to have both of those on for everything to be on. If they want to just have just the AC running, they can do that, but if they want to be able to use their Firefly system, which is this system and all the radio and stuff like that, that's what that other switch is for. So show you all the fun electronics and how we were able to get this in here. Underneath this bench is where everything was able to fit. So down here we've got an inverter charger, 460 amp hour battery, a couple of DC to DC chargers, a solar charge controller, and a smart shunt. Getting this wired in was pretty tricky because we have to deal with all of this where the old inverter was at over here, and just rewire everything. We had to pull all this apart. This had to come out, this had to come out, the bench had to come out. This was a mess of wires here not too long ago. And then to run our power from here up to the air conditioner, we actually were able to pull this off, and there's not a lot of room there, but we were able to get it behind this pillar, up behind the speaker, up through the roof, and then to the air conditioning unit. So it was pretty tricky getting everything wired in, but luckily we were able to find a path and make it work. So here's all the fun stuff underneath this bench. You got your Victron Multi-Plus right there. I don't know if you can see that blue light flashing or not, but back there is where the smart shunt's at. There's your 460 amp hour Epic battery. Absolutely love this battery. It's best bang for your buck that you can get, and the features that come with it are just incredible. And then we got our solar charge controller and our 2 Victron DC to DC chargers. That's what's pulling power from the alternator. Try to get a shot of that cutoff switch there in the back. It's really hard to see, but that's actually a motorized switch that when you flip that switch in the front on and off, that's what actually turns the top of that knob, and it will turn it on, turn it off, so that it will cut power to the battery completely when you're going for storage mode. This was quite the fun build. Was pretty excited to do it. Can't wait for the customer to come pick it up and see the reaction.